Hi Math 7 students, I hope you're doing well on Wednesday. This is your lesson for today. I hope that you get to go outside in the beautiful weather. It's supposed to be in the 80s today, and we're going to get started. So let's say a prayer. Father in heaven, we just thank you for this day. I pray for all of my Math 7 students that they would learn well, focus well, master all this material, and have great success in their tests and in the future for math. And I pray for myself that you would strengthen me and help me to use the very best words that will help my students to learn the most. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, like I said on Monday, we skipped lesson 9.5. We're going to come back to that probably next week. But today we're going to do lesson 9.7. So please have some paper out and we're going to take some notes. I'll see you later. Okay. So here we go, lesson 9.7. I'm going to look up the name of it for you. This is called Discounts, Markups, Sales Tax, and Tips. So it's basically a whole bunch of real-world situations where you would use percents. It's actually one of the most practical, useful lessons you will have from Math 7. Figuring out how much things are on sale, what a discount is, how to give a tip in a restaurant. Can't do that right now, but if you're doing takeout, you certainly can. It are all very important skills that you want to have. So let's do the first one. The first one is about how to figure out a sale price. So here's our situation. You buy a pair of jeans that is 30% off of $29. What is the sale price? Okay, so go ahead and write that down. And let's look at that. What we do is we take our original price and I subtract the sale amount to get my new sale price. Okay? So if you look at this, we see that the original price is $29. And we know that we're going to take 30% off of $29 to get my new sale price. But the problem is I only know 30%. I don't know what the actual dollar amount is to compute. So that's what I need to find out. I need to find the sale amount or the discount amount. Okay, so I hope you, excuse me, wrote that down. Okay, so we need to figure that out. What I need to know is my discount amount which is equal to 30% what? Of $29. Of is a huge word that we know, and we've done stuff like this already in chapter 9, right? All of that percent stuff that we did. Now, I'm just going to call this X here. My discount amount is X. That's what I'm trying to find. So 30% I'm going to write as a decimal. So I'm going to write as a decimal. So 30% is just 0.30, right? I divide 30 by 100, so if I start with 30%, that's equal to 30 over 100. So I take away the percent sign and divide, and that's how I get the 0.3. Of means multiply, and then I have 29. So all I have to do is figure that out, and when I multiply that together, I get $8.70. Okay, so the question is, what is the sale price? Is that what I have? No, what I have is the discount amount. So I have to go back to this right up here. All that writing really is important. So I take my original price, which is $29, and I'm going to subtract my sale amount, which is $8.70. And when I do that, I get $20.30, and that is my new sale price. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the clothing store and they'll say 25% off or 50% off. And what am I doing in my head? I'm calculating that. I'm trying to figure out, okay, it's a $40 pair of pants and it's 30% off. How much of a discount am I going to get? Well, 40 times 30% just happens to be $12. So I can go, do I want to pay $28 for that pair of pants? Now, I know I'm a math teacher, so I think and I can do this math in my head. But you all have a cell phone that has a calculator on it, and you can use that to figure out what you need to know. Very important skill. Okay, whoops. What I want you to do is go ahead and do this OIO, just one. Flip-flops are on sale. 20% off the original price of $20. What is the new price? Okay, so go ahead and do that one. Pause the video and we'll come back. Okay, all right, did you get that done okay? Let's go and try that. So I want to know 20% of $20. That's going to give me my discount, okay? So that would be 0.20 times $20, which is $4. So that's my discount, but what I want to know is the new price. So I take $20 and I subtract $4 and I figure out that the new price is $16. Now you can decide, do you want to pay $16? Is that a good enough sale for you? Okay. All right, let's go on. Number 2. Okay, a store sells skateboards. They buy them from a manufacturer for $57. They mark up 150% of wholesale. What is the new price? Okay, go ahead and write that down. What is, in other words, what is retail? You can pause that if you like. Let's talk about this for a minute. This is really true. It seems shocking that a store would mark up something 150%. If you ever watch Shark Tank, you'll find that they make something very often overseas for $2 and they'll sell it for $12, and we buy it. It's unbelievable. Now they're providing us a service, but really the store charges a lot of money to mark it up. And what do they have to do? If you have a store like Target, what are you doing? People ship their products to Target, and then they're on the shelf, and you have a building, and you have air conditioning and lights, and you have employees, and the employees' insurance, and their advertising. And when you're a retailer, this really has a lot of costs involved. So it's very common to mark something up that much. Okay, so this is how this equation works. We have our original price, and then we have our markup. So how much we mark it up gives us our retail price. The original price can be called the wholesale price. All right, that's before it is in the retailer. That's before. Okay, so let's talk about this. The original price is $57. Well, I want to know 150% of $57. So what is that? That's multiplying. Now, remember, if I have 150%, that is the same as 150 divided by 100. I take away the percent sign and I divide by 100. Remember that? And that works out to be 1.05. So I'm moving my decimal over 2 places, and I am taking away the percent symbol. Now I'm going to multiply by 57. So 1.50 times 57 gives me, I'll just tell you, $85.50. So that is the markup. So the markup amount is $85. So they make it for $57, and $85.50 is added to the price before they sell it to us. Okay, so what is the question? The question is not what is the markup. The question is what is the new price. So I have to take my original, add the markup, and that will be the retail price, which is what they sell it to us for. So I'm going to take $57 and I'm going to add $85.50 to it, and I get $142.50. Okay? So that skateboard is expensive. All right, one more, and then we'll have some OIOs. So at a restaurant, you order a $12 meal. The sales tax is 5%. You leave a 20% tip. What is your total cost? Okay. I go out with my book club once a month, and we are always going to a restaurant, and I always calculate what's the sales tax. Actually, they tell you what the sales tax is, but I have to figure out the tip. And what do you think they do? They look at me and say, "You're the math teacher, you figure it out for all of us." And actually, I don't mind doing it. I kind of like it. So I use this every month when I go out to dinner with my book club. Now, you may never go out to dinner with your book club, but certainly there's going to come a day and a time when you're going to have to leave a tip at a restaurant. You don't just walk out. Make sure you tip that waitress. I also used to be a waitress, so those tips are really important. All right, so let's figure out how to do it. First, we have to figure out the tip. So that's going to be 20% of $12, okay? So that means I'm going to have 0.20 times $12. And when I work that out, that's $2.40 for the tip. Okay, the second thing I figure out is the sales tax. Okay, and they tell us that's 5% of $12. Okay, now don't forget, 5%, I moved the decimal over 2, is 0.05 times 12. So that's 60 cents. That doesn't seem like a lot, but I'll tell you what, California wants all those 60 cents of yours. Every time somebody goes out to eat, they pay actually more than 5%. That's what pays for our taxes. Those are our taxes. It goes to our roads and our police and our government and all kinds of things. All right. So now my total cost is going to be 3 things. I'm going to have the meal, I'm going to have the tip, and I'm going to have the tax. So I have all 3. So I have $12 and $2.40 and 60 cents, and I'm going to add them all together. So you can't just figure out the tip. You can't just figure out the sales tax and be done. We always go back to the question and make sure that we actually answered the question. In this case, there are 3 steps. So when I total everything, I get $15. That is the total cost. Okay, I want you to try 2 on your own. All right, number 1, a store buys guitars for $38. They mark them up 85%. What is the retail price? And number 2, you eat out for $15. What is your total cost if the tip is 20% and the tax is 5%. Okay, so go ahead and figure that out, and we'll come back in a few minutes. All right, we're going to go over these now. So I want to know 85% of $38. So that is 80.85 times 38. And when I multiply that, I get $32.30. Okay, so I'm going to take my original, which was $38, and I'm going to add $32.30 to it. And so my retail price now is $70.30. Okay? That's number one. All right, number two. I want 20% of $15. And when I work that out, I get 0.2 times 15, and that is $3. So that's my tip. Okay, and for tax, I want 5% of $15. And that works out to be 0.05 times 15, which is 75 cents. Okay, so I'm going to have my total cost is the food plus my tip plus the tax. And I get, not 25, 75, and I work that out and I get $18.75. And that is the total cost for my meal. Okay, so that's it for Wednesday. I hope you have good success. If you have any questions, you can email me or we can set up some type of a tutoring session. I hope you find this information really useful and helpful. This is one of my favorite lessons because I think it has such a real world application. You will do this one way or another. Okay, so have a great day and we'll be back soon. Bye.